Go ahead, Tanner.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Experience
No, that's not
Podcast.
right. No, very rude. No, no, no.
What?
I thought you were
What'd you say?
cleaning your room.
Well, I just threw everything on the bed. Um, all right. You're gonna start the
This is
podcast
your
right here.
this is your home. This is not your
This is my dorm room.
temporary apartment living space.
What do you mean?
Where are you right now?
I'm in my dorm. I'm in Z-Bar.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was confusing. You made it seem like you went home.
Sorry, no. I had to go home, get a new phone, and then come back.
I was like, "Damn, it very much looks like your apartment. Okay.
Hey everybody, that was a weird cold open, and welcome back to the Experience Podcast. We have a very special guest, Daniel Silverstein. I, of course, am Tanner Debates, and this is my podcast. So today's episode is going to be about answering the questions you guys have for us. So the first question comes from David A413, and he says, beer or wine? Daniel? Beer or wine?
Thanks, David A, for sending in the question again. Tanner, where can they send in questions for future mailbag episodes?
Anchor.fm, you can leave an audio comment if you'd like. We'll
Uh-huh.
check our comments. We don't get a whole lot, so.
No.
Well, actually, we do. So we have to curate them carefully.
Yeah.
We'll round them up. So if you guys want to leave any comments on any of our platforms, that includes Anchor.fm.
All right.
Okay.
Beer or wine is the question?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not really a beer drinker. Just, you know,
That's a fascinating response.
that's so my answer is wine.
All right, I'm kind of opposite, but I like beer more. I recently turned 21, so it's been nice to kind of be able to try different beers and to be able to go out and go to local breweries.
And you weren't drinking before you were 21, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Um,
You want me to read the next question, or?
yeah, if you want.
Yeah, let me find the next question. All right, here we go from Sweaty Tentacles. From Sweaty Tentacles, we have: Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Hmm. I'd say that I'm neither. Is that stupid? Like, I don't want to stay up late, but I also don't want to wake up early. You know what I
What?
mean? Like, I'm not.
No, I
I
don't know
guess
what.
I'd say I'm more of a night owl. I mean, I go to bed around 1 a.m. pretty consistently. I guess that makes me a night owl, but like I feel like not by most college kid standards. So thanks for your question, Sweaty. Um, but I'd
All
say
right.
that I'm kind of neither by college standards. I don't wake up particularly early. Actually, this semester I have had to because I have 8 a.m.s, basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday, Thursday. So that kind of sucks. So maybe this semester I'll become more of a morning person. But thank you for your question, Sweaty Tentacles. All right.
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask another one. So, geez, this one's kind of personal. So,
Okay.
so Daniel, it comes from I think it's anonymous.
Okay.
No, okay, but it says, imagine you are alone at home, lonely and bored. Who would you like / wish to be together with?
Wow, that's pretty.
Your favorite person, you know?
That's pretty personal. Funny thing is, I live in a one-bedroom apartment, so I'm always lonely and bored.
So who do you want? Close your eyes.
Oof.
First name that comes to your head.
I mean the obvious answer, or should I go with something a little more interesting?
Give what does your head say? If you were to close your eyes and just say a name.
I mean the obvious answer is Owen, but I feel like that's a little derivative. I feel like I should get a little.
No, that's a perfectly fine answer.
I mean Tanner on a good day, you know. We get a chuckle in every now and then.
At least one.
Yeah, one. What?
And at
Well,
least
usually
every
just one.
other than. Yeah, so that was, thank you for the question, anonymous poster. Thank you, Daniel, for your sincerity and your response.
Okay. Tam, you want me to get the next one, or did you have another? Did
Uh,
I?
if you want to, we can just keep alternating. I kind of like.
Okay, okay. I got one here from Pineapple Farts, uh, who asks, describe yourself in a single sentence.
I would say that this is like an elevator pitch. Hi,
That's,
I'm a senior industrial engineer at
yeah.
Georgia Institute of Technology. Run on sentence.
No, that was okay.
I like making people laugh. I like laughing myself.
You mostly like making yourself laugh. We're gonna
I do
put
like
those
making
two together.
myself laugh. I
Put
think
those two together.
yeah. Okay.
You enjoy having a good time. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
yeah. So I think that's a good response.
Okay.
Here, this one comes from Dirty Tissue. What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence? Poop. Out of
Ooh,
just out of existence.
that's a pretty wow. What inanimate object do I wish to eliminate?
Hmm.
I don't have any specific. Do you have an answer for this one? I can't think of anything off the top of my
There's like
head.
a funny response. You could say, I really wish, well, like pencils. Then it's like everyone have to use pens and no one would make mistakes. There's probably a funny
What?
response to that. I can't think of
I can't think of a real response to that.
it. What inanimate object? Well, what things do you hate?
I don't really hate. I'm not really a hater. You know, not a hater.
Yeah, it just takes too much energy to hate. I'd say I'd get rid of. Oh, you could do inanimate objects. You could do like you could solve global warming by saying I wish inanimate object. If we got rid of like all fossil fuels
What's your?
immediately, of course the economy would and global market would
We
crash.
wouldn't be able to power the world.
Yeah, but like maybe. Well, okay. Say we do all fossil fuels instantly vanish overnight.
Okay, that's more than half the world's like electricity source.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So basically, the world becomes Mad Max if we do that. I was trying to solve global warming, but I ended up creating Mad Max.
yeah, I don't know. That's a
I'm a benevolent god. I choose to get rid of fossil fuels. But yeah, I think that's what would happen. Isn't that what happens in Mad Max, or does the water just dry up?
I
What's
don't
Mad Max
know.
was like global warming? So I don't actually know. I just watched the Fury Road one, not the old ones. Um, sorry, sorry for going on a tangent, and we can't even think of a good enough question.
Okay. Do you want to get to the next one or?
Yeah, I can ask it. This one comes from Charlotte Mini Spoon,
Okay.
and they say, "What's the weirdest thing a guest has done at your house?" Or just in general, what's the weirdest thing that's happened at your house?
Here's the funny thing. I've never had anyone over at my apartment, right?
Well, to your
So
apartment, well, I don't know. You can think of your
at my
apartment.
house, there's been strange things. Probably. None by any of my guests. My brother has some strange people come over. Feel like, did I say that? No. I'm not really much of a, you have to have a good answer.
Me? What's the weirdest thing a guest?
I feel like
Um,
someone,
just one example. Like these are hard to think about, unless I was given an infinite amount of time.
yeah.
One thing like this example sticks out to me. Maybe when I was um, in third grade, maybe third or fourth grade. I'd say I had this kid, Robert. He lived in my neighborhood. He came over. I think we were in the basement, and I think he was trying to do a cartwheel. And I think he falls and says a cuss word. I don't know if he said what the hell or what the fuck or what the shit, but I think he said it wasn't like crazy, like he fell. But we were only in third grade, and my mom hears it, and my mom tells him to leave. Like, you do not say that kind of thing in my house.
your mom can be stern about that sort of stuff. So
Well, yeah, I don't know why. Like now, maybe she was just upset. Yeah, so I guess that's not the weirdest thing to ever happen ever, but like that's a specific example I remember. And this kid was kind of not a good person either, by the way. So it's like I kind of in fifth grade I remember I stopped hanging out with him, but that's kind of the thing with young friendships. But in fifth grade he picked up my other kind of friend at the time. I think I became more of a friend with him in middle school, but so Robert picks up Devin as like a I can pick up other kids. Uh, he picks up Devin, and I think he just drops him. This was on like the track. Drops him on the field, and Devin breaks his arm. He literally picks up Robert picks up Devin and drops him. Like
like a
imagine
wrestling
like
move,
what?
like a
Well, like
wrestling.
I don't know. I think he came up behind him and like maybe like tipped him over and. But yeah, this was like in fifth grade. It was like he got expelled for it. Yeah, I think he had some maybe home issues or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, so he wasn't a good kid. I don't think. So, yeah, that was a long-winded answer. I'm sorry.
All right, I got the next one here from
Yeah.
Colorblind Zebra, who asks, it's kind of a personal one, Tanner. So,
I could
do you
answer.
prefer do you prefer people that are you too bored for this? Do you prefer people do you prefer that people shoot straight with you or temper their words?
I feel like everyone wants to respond. I wish people didn't mince their words and they were just direct. But you know, because if everything were direct, everyone would know what each other wants and needs, and that's a utopian world. Obviously, no one wants to like be very curt and direct, just in general. Like you don't want to step on people's toes. People kind of curtsy around everything. So of course, I think anyone would respond. I want people to shoot straight with me, but what I think happens and everything. Everyone is like, the victim of this and has probably done this, but you kind of dance around what you really want and without being like too direct. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not very good at thinking of these answers on the spot, but I think everyone has kind of done that where they're not fully upfront.
Well, good
So
thing we're doing the viewer question
yeah,
episode.
exactly. I'm gonna ask the next question if that's okay.
Yeah.
This one comes from Scarf Hat. He says, "What are some of the nicknames you have for customers or coworkers?" Daniel, I know you have a new job, so what do they call you?
They don't call me anything weird. It's
Call you
just
like
Daniel.
short stuff, short stack, the
I'm
McRib?
not that short.
Why? Well, compared to a regular stack, you're probably the short stack.
I
Aren't
I
the
guess
stacks
so.
the nuclear stacks? Is that what they're called?
Uh, I don't have any nicknames. Apparently, if I screw up, I would get a nickname. So
What
hopefully, I
nickname
don't.
would that be?
Depends on how I screw it up.
How bad you screwed up?
Yeah, or like what specifically I screwed up.
This is what they'd call you. I typed it in the chat. I don't know if you're comfortable saying, but I think it would give away your occupation.
Nuclear waste. Yeah, no.
Yeah. They'd call you nuclear waste if you fucked up.
Uh,
Definitely if you worked at my undisclosed location company.
no, they know what I work, where I work.
Oh, okay. You got a question for him?
Yeah, I got one here from Ugly Glasses, who asks, uh, "What's your opinion of Olive Garden?"
Oh, okay. Now that is a surprisingly tame question from someone named Ugly Glasses.
It's fat.
I've only eaten at Olive Garden, like how many, when we went to Gaffney. Oops, Gaffney twice. It was like we passed through Gaffney twice. Did we attempt the Olive Garden challenge? I'm
I
not
think
sure.
I've done the Olive Garden challenge 2 or 3 times.
I've only done it once, I think, but that was my only time doing it. So the Olive Garden Challenge is when all the trumpets on their way to just, I guess, up north from Georgia Tech, will try to get in an hour, get seated at an Olive Garden, get their food, and get out within an hour, which,
And
you know,
eat there, not just like do
yeah,
takeout. Yeah,
eat, which is, it's kind of a challenge, It's like, you got an hour, and then the bus leaves without you. So I've been kind of rushed, so I couldn't enjoy their unlimited breadsticks
of course, yeah.
because it was a finite time. I had an hour being seated, and also they were really slow with giving out the breadsticks. So I didn't really have that many. But it was like all right food. I think it was like cheap, maybe $10 plus a tip. So I'd say probably better Italian restaurants out there. You call Olive Garden Italian, I call it more of an American Italian restaurant.
Yeah. All right. Kind of a mix.
Yeah, so that's my response. Let me see if there's any good one. The Dark Master 02 says, what used to be considered trashy but is now very classy?
Trashy, but is now classy. I feel like clothing changes, right? So there's got to be something in that boat, right?
Yeah, maybe like hoodies. Like I feel like
Hoodies.
hoodies, are now like more hip hop fashiony. You know what I mean? They're like where before it was kind of like hoodies, but now I think there's some expensive hoodies out there. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they're getting more expensive and stuff. So I feel like it's because they're becoming classy. More
I mean, is
expensive.
there anything else? There's got to be like food dishes too.
Well,
So,
yeah, lobster.
lobster.
Yeah, lobster was for peasants. And
There
then
you go.
that's a yeah. Got one question for
All
me,
right, I
Nate?
got one here from Sloppy Snowflake. Sloppy
Great
Snowflake
names.
asks, "How do you replenish your energy?"
Well, me being a plant, I get most of my energy. Other energy I get is by vanquishing my enemies, by absorbing them with my roots. So that's usually how I get most of my energy. Photosynthesis. You're able to convert, heat or excuse me, solar rays
Well, Taylor,
straight.
I think we should give Sloppy at least a real answer because you're a very
Oh,
very energetic person.
okay. How do I get most of my energy? Is this like social energy? Like a social battery, or is
I
it like
I don't know.
the energy to get up, or is it like how do I go on a run?
Could be
Well,
anything.
the answer is carbs. I eat a lot of Cheez-Its. So thank you for your question, Floppy, Floppy Snowflake.
Yep.
Good name. Um, yeah, I'd say it's carbs. Um,
Kind of a simple answer. All right.
a question from Justin M. What would be the worst thing for the government to make illegal? This question kind of confuses me. Is this something that's not illegal now? Not illegal now. It
Yeah,
would
so
just
something that's so it would be like
so the worst thing would be like gasoline or something like
yeah, or water, you
water.
know.
Like that's I don't understand, Justin. This was
It
a
just
dumb question. Justin, you suck. If you're listening, you suck. I can also record a ringtone. Hi, you've reached the phone of Justin M. Sorry, I cannot come to the phone right now. Sorry, Justin. I just insulted you, but I hope that ringtone that you just received makes up for it.
all right. Thank you, Justin. Let's see. Okay, Peanut M&Ms asks, how many days could you last in solitary confinement?
0. I'd say I wouldn't be able like from 8 a.m. I think I'd reach my limit by 5.
I think
I
I'd
think
be
it's
okay for. I think I'd be okay for like
like
a week.
solitary confinement, like in a white room, no glass,
Yeah,
just like one of those. Like I feel like that's mental torture, just to be
that's the
so
point.
isolated. If
That's
I
the
was
point.
super
I think.
tired, I'd do it. If I was like so tired that I just could sleep through everything.
I don't
You know?
think that counts. I think it's just like they plucked you out from a random day, whatever.
I don't think I'd lasted a whole day. That's just me. This one's from Tim, literally just Tim, Tim.
Just him.
Yep, and he says, "What's the best type of cheese?" I know my answer. What's yours?
Uh, I think. I think this depends on what you're eating with the cheese.
Well, yeah, that's why I kind of have two answers.
Yeah, like I think like something like a mozzarella fits well on a lot of food items.
Yeah, like pizza.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, that's a hard question for me. You know, I'm so tired. Um, for me, I'd say there's kind of three answers. I like pepper jack on sandwiches. I like, Mexican shredded cheese on quesadillas. Colby
Is
Jack.
Mexican cheese a cheese?
No, it's just like
That's a
assorted.
mi- that's a mix of different,
Like
yeah,
Colby Jack and
cheddar.
cheddar. Um, so but I eat that with quesadillas and nachos. And then I'd say like, if you were to get like an appetizer plate, some cheese on an appetizer plate. I like Gruyere. I know it's kind of not the fanciest cheese, but I tried it in France. I
And
think
if
it's
you have
really
a plate of crackers, what cheese are you using with them?
Gouda, Gouda or Gruyere. I think those are my probably favorites to just like put on some crackers. So that was a good question from Tim.
All right, I got one from Granny Smith. Uh, Granny Smith says, "How many tattoos do you have?" I want to know, Tanner.
Granny, I have excellent question by the way. I have three. I have
Do you
one on my
actually?
I have one on I have one on my bicep, on my right bicep that says distance, and one on my left bicep that says time. So then when I make a lightning bolt, like a strong flex lightning bolt, I have distance over time, flex, velocity. And then my third tattoo is a full sleeve tattoo around the word velocity. Kind of. It's like decorating the word and kind of accenting it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure none of that is true.
And none of that is true, but in
No.
8th grade, I think I did that with my friends. Like I put it on my shoulder. I put like a D and then a T, and then I did that. I was like, "Look, guys, distance over." I rolled up my sleeves all the way, and I said, "Look, guys, distance over time." Yeah, I wasn't very funny.
But you want it to be, and that's what counts.
Yeah, I think it was like goofy kid stuff.
I feel like you did that last week with Alex.
Yes, that was actually 2 days ago.
Sounds like
Okay,
something you.
that was a good question, Granny. Um, I got a question for you, Daniel,
Okay.
specifically for you, and it comes from Nathaniel Anderson.
Uh-huh.
And he says, Daniel, I'm a big fan of the show. I have a question for you. Which body part do you wish you could detach and why? Thanks, Nathaniel.
I don't want to detach any body part.
Answer's damn
Oh,
question.
is it reattachable?
Yeah. Oh,
Ah, okay.
well, okay,
So
okay. Answer. We'll break it up. If you had to lose one body part, like
now,
what
if
would
you
it
had to lose a body part, then you got to pick like the most dispensable body part, right?
be? Yeah.
Which I guess would be like a finger or a
I
toe.
know. I'm
Mhm.
thinking cut off an arm.
A whole arm.
Yeah, I think you have. If you have to choose one of your limbs to lose, which would it be?
Why wouldn't you go smaller?
Well, if you had to choose, which body part? I think body part as in like significant body part.
Okay. I was gonna say if it's reattachable, then it's obviously arm.
Well, what would you do if you could? Sorry. No, obviously the answer, if it's something's reattachable, then it's your head. You could throw your head.
Well, that's
That
just
would
asking
work.
for a concussion.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Tanner, you gotta think of health-wise here.
Okay, well, if you could detach your head and just put it back on, I'm thinking like headless
What are you
crossbow.
doing with your head?
I don't know. I think I'd throw it like a football or something.
But if you could, how would you? You don't have your eyesight.
Oh, okay. Say you can detach your head. That means your head's kind of self-sustainable and maybe like magic. Maybe it can't get hurt. You could kick it around like a soccer ball. Is what
But
I'm
how,
thinking.
you can't, the rest of your body can't see if you lose your eyes.
Well, okay. Say for the sake of argument, my head is like a magic thing. I can kind of just take it off and maybe it's protected in a bubble. You can't really hurt it. Okay, so I slice off my head and then I throw it. Maybe I can still kind of communicate with the rest of my body, right? I imagine you can. If you can reattach it, if you can detach and reattach your head, your body has to be, able to go through that motion. Your
I don't
body
know,
needs.
maybe it's just a mechanical thing. It's not a.
It'd be like having a camera, like a spy camera. Like you could put your head down, like in the bathroom, and then I would know that my
Hold
body is
on.
kind of in the seat,
Hold on.
so I could.
This is
This
getting creepy.
No, okay. Say I put it just in the living room, not the bathroom. I
This
would
is
kind
getting
of
creepy.
know how to get there, and I'd be able to see my body slowly approaching. I'd be like, "Oops, I just knocked over the thing. I just knocked over a vase. I gotta move a little bit to the right." Like you'd be able to see that and make adjustments. So I feel like detaching your head and being able to throw it would probably be the best thing. Because if you detach your arm, what are you gonna do with it? Just you get a longer high five range. Maybe you can grab stuff off the top shelf. Like, I mean, that's kind of stupid. Sorry, I think I answered your question for you.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. Do you
Tanner
think
wants to spy on people in the bathroom.
but if you
That's
had to
fine.
lose one, if you had to lose one,
Like I said, it would be like a toe or an arm. Or a finger.
well, yeah. I mean, but say you had to lose an arm or a leg or a penis, like an appendage, something that sticks off, you know,
Slid that one right in there.
or a head, or your head forever, you can't get it back.
I know, if you had to pick one of those, then I think the answer is arm.
Yeah, I feel like you use both of your feet really often, more so than my left arm. You know.
All right, we got a question here from Doodle Monster, who asks, how many times a day do you look at yourself in the mirror?
Thanks, Doodler. I think that I look at myself in the mirror maybe 3 or 4 times.
Oh, you got to be more than that.
Okay, well, so, you get up, maybe you walk past the sink, on your way to the bathroom. Does that count? Like, is it just
Yeah.
like a glance? Okay,
If you
then a
take
lot.
take a peek, peeks count.
I wash my hands a lot. I go to the bathroom 5 times a day. I wash my hands 5 times a day in front of a mirror. I don't use the mirror specifically, like, but like, you wash your hands. So I guess I use a mirror maybe 10 times. So, yeah, there's an accurate answer. More closely accurate. This one comes from Chase the Sun, and it says, "What part of a kids movie completely scarred you, or what was the scariest movie that you remember as a kid?"
Ooh. I feel
Go
like I
ahead.
knew this answer at one point. What scarred me? I don't know. I didn't watch that many scary movies when I was younger, so I don't really. Tanner's like Googling scary movies.
I am. Was it called the Clown Monster?
You thinking
What?
of It?
No. What?
I can't really think of any scary movies here. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really because my parents really aren't into horror movies, so I never really got introduced to them until much later.
Well, Monsters Inc. would scare me as a kid. The Randall, the lizard.
It didn't scare me.
Oh, I was scared of
It's
Monsters Inc. a little.
it's
Like
a
when
movie meant for kids.
Well, yeah, but like that still kind of scared me. It was like they're monsters.
How old were you?
The one,
14?
yeah, but one that I specifically remember, um, and I don't think it was a scary movie. That's why I'm looking it up. It was just this one scene. This was when I was super young. I don't think it was a scary movie because I can't really remember it too well. But this one scene, it's like at a birthday party, it seems, and I'm looking it up. I'm trying to find it. But the clown, I think it's a clown, has a guy go into a box. As maybe the dad, the birthday party, the kid's birthday party. Maybe had the dad or the mom goes into a box. The clown makes them disappear,
What are
and
you
they're like,
talking about?
or, or, what? What am I talking about? It's just a scene that I remember and being like specifically scared and being like, Mom, what happened to the dad? What happened to him? Turned him into a dog or something like that?
The Shaggy Dog?
No, like turns him into a dog or a cat.
Okay. Do you have it?
No, I don't know. I'm trying to find it. Might be the boy, the dog, and the clown. It kind of actually, it might be this one. Young boy grieving the loss of his father meets a sad down on his luck clown who can perform feats of magic. It might be this one. Let me see when it came out. It had to be, came out when, initial release 2019. It can't be that one. Never mind. Like, I do not know. It had to be an old movie. Yeah, as in old, as in, uh, at this point, at least 13 years old. Before 2008. So yeah, I specifically just remember that and my mom watching it and me walking in on that scene. That was the scariest movie I saw. Or just
Want to get to the next one?
yep. Sorry.
All right. I got this next one. It doesn't look like a question. I'll read it anyway. It's from Tanner's biggest fan. Said, Tanner, love what you guys do on the podcast. Thanks for everything you do. I really appreciate it. You got me out of some tough times and just wanted to wish you guys the best. Thank you,
Oh,
Tanner's biggest fan.
thank you. That means a lot. My biggest fan. Thank you for the kind words, and I hope you're doing well in these tough times. Uh, this one comes from David Taylorico. I'm sorry, but thank you, Tanner's biggest fan. That was very kind words. And sorry.
Still stuck on that one, aren't you?
What?
Still stuck on that one?
No, it's just kind words. That was when you hear a nice thing, you gotta stop and go out and thank them because it's not often, especially when everyone's isolated. Really getting some compliments.
Of course.
So this one came from what did I say?
Yeah, what did you say? What was the name, Tanner?
David Taylor Rico. Yeah, sorry, I just scrolled down, and it was what part of a kids movie scarred? No, sorry, you scroll down again. If animals could talk, sorry, David, I'm totally butchering your question. Animals could talk. Which would be the rudest?
Oh, that's squirrels, right?
Why is that?
I feel like squirrels are already kind of rude. They
The
go wherever
rude.
they want, they do whatever they want, and no one really stops them. Like, it's not like an animal that you hunt. They just they kind of live their own life. I don't know. You don't think so?
What about what about a
Cockroach? Yeah, well,
no? Which would be the rudest? As I think rudest, as in like trying to fuck up your day.
that's squirrels.
What animals fuck up someone's day? Like hippos, aren't they the most aggressive? I feel like hippos would, hippos are like the most deadly animal, right?
That sounds kind of familiar, but
Because they're huge and they're territorial. So I
yeah, but
feel
you're
like they'd
never.
still be territorial, and I feel like if they could talk, they'd form a society. Probably be like hippo wars. Maybe there'd be like a hippo mafia or a hippo
What?
gang. They'd be pretty rude. I
Would
imagine there'd be
hippos? Would
hippo
hippos have
gang.
guns?
Yes. They'll make
Okay.
like hippo-mounted turrets. If they could talk, they could probably ask someone for like a hippo turret. And it's like if a hippo comes up to you and says, "Hey, if you don't attach a gun to my back, I'll kill you." What are you gonna do? What would you do in that situation? Exactly. You give the hippo his gun. And then this hippo's got a gun. And now he's talking to other hippos. He says, "You guys better get in line because I have a gun." And, it's kind of adds on to each other. And that's what happens. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Uh,
So that was a great question, TV.
okay.
All right, Daniel, you're up for the next question.
All right. Here we got Green Jeans. Green Jeans says, where is it? Oh, I lost it. If you don't have any, have you ever thought of getting one? I'm not sure.
Name
Not sure.
what?
I'm not sure what that means. Green
Well,
jeans. I don't know what
Green
you
G.
mean
Thank
there.
you for the very thought-provoking question. What's the next one? Joking. Wait, what was it again? If you don't,
If you don't have any, have you ever thought of getting one? I don't know
um,
what.
I think this is one of those questions where they just want us to improvise.
Yeah. People love us improvising, I guess.
Um, well, I think if I would actually, if I didn't have any, I'd wait until I could get it for cheap, because it's kind of an investment.
I feel like it's good to have at least some.
Well, yeah, but like I feel like you could wait until you get a good rate, a good discount.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's you should have some, but I think you can afford to wait for it cheap.
This is if you don't have any already, right?
Yes. If you don't have any already, I say that's probably fine. Because if you don't have any, then you were fine to begin with.
If you've gotten this far without any,
Exactly,
then there's
exactly.
no rush to get one right
In
now.
which case, you might as well wait.
That makes sense. No, okay. Looks like we only have a couple more questions. You
Yeah.
wanna get one of those last ones there?
All right, and this one comes from Slick L.
Okay, slick out.
And Slick L says, um, all right, I'm squinting. What is the sexiest and least sexy name? I know what you're gonna say for least sexy. You're gonna say Tanner.
I was not gonna say that.
Very funny.
I don't know. I feel like
What's
least sexy is probably like an old person name, someone like a Gertrude.
least sexy? Well, yeah, like not. I mean, one of those like outdated names.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate to say it. If there's a Francis out there, your name isn't doing you any favors, man. Or a Francis name for a girl is also, You know,
Sorry,
you,
Francis.
sorry, Francis, if you're a boy or a girl. But if your parents are naming you Francis, they're kind of shooting you in the foot. You know what I mean? I'm not wrong here, right, Dan?
Uh,
I hate to be mean to all the
it's
Francis.
not a good start. It's not a good start. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're already behind.
yeah. If your name's Frank, unless you go by Frank, I think that's the only way it's fine.
What if you're not a man?
Then you're screwed. That's
Okay.
what I'm talking about. Like, sure, Francis was fine because it was just the female form of. Or, wait, no, Frank was the nickname. Excuse me, Francis. Francis has always been a male name, but people give it their.
What?
People give the name Francis to their daughters as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a gender neutral name. I thought it was the like a female form of. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Okay.
What is the sexiest
Last one.
name, Daniel?
I don't think so. I don't
I'd
think I can.
say I'd say a Spanish name like Fernando.
Alejandro.
Alejandro, yeah, something like that. Because when I think that, I picture like like a Spanish. I picture a buff Spanish,
I
beautifully tanned.
I think you're just into Spanish guys.
I know, tall, dark, and handsome.
I think
He
that's
says
just what you're into. I think we're
his
revealing
name.
something else right now.
He says, "Mi amo Fernando." Yeah, I don't know. It's like because it's like foreign, and it's like ooh, it's kind of
Oh,
interesting.
so you're into foreign guys.
You know what I mean? It's like it invokes intrigue. It's like ooh, they're foreign. They're not from this place. You know what I mean? All right. So we got one last question from Brian D.
Okay.
And this one, I think we can both answer it. Just what is the funniest joke you know by heart?
Ooh, it's got to be one of mine, right?
One of your what?
One of my jokes. What are my signature jokes?
Tanner not funny. Danish guy.
Let's see. I think the one that always gets laughs when I go on stage. Let me pull it up.
Well,
It's
yeah,
been a
you
while.
do comedy, so it's like
Where is it?
in
I
the
mean, it used to.
meantime, what?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The joke that I kind of I can't tell it, but I was kind of this is a while ago. I don't really have any like knock jokes like ready, short jokes. But the jokes I was into that I kind of memorized and then I'd tell for my friends were like those shaggy dog stories, where it's like really long and it doesn't have a punchline.
Go ahead. Tell one.
Like it's no, I'm not gonna do that. It's called like the shaggy dog story. It's that one. It's where it's like the bees are going to prom or something like that. They eventually try to get in line for the punch, and they get the punch really fast because there was no punchline. You know? No, you never heard that one?
I have. It's just so unfunny.
You know what I mean? Like I thought those were so good, but it's like an asshole move. It's like they waste so much time. In fact, I think I invented my own. It was like the hungry caterpillar,
Are you looking this up? How would you?
the hungry caterpillar shaggy dog. Let me see if there's a shaggy dog story. Basically, a shaggy dog story or a yarn is an extremely long-winded anecdote characterized by extensive narration of typically irrelevant incidents and terminated by an anticlimax. So I think I made one up. It was like I thought it was super funny. I remember being in seventh grade and telling my friend, and we had to get cut off because I kept talking. But it was like the hungry caterpillar. He just kept eating basically. He would eat larger and larger stuff, and then the end of the joke was, and he ate this, and he spontaneously combusted, and I would laugh, and no one else. I just remember that. So sorry, not a very funny joke. Sorry for wasting everyone's time. I think people know what a shaggy dog story is, but that was the one that I made up. And
You just made a shaggy dog story out of a
I,
shaggy dog.
I made one up. It was basically like a
No,
cat.
I mean this is your shaggy dog story.
Yes. Essentially. Well, this is just a story about shaggy dog stories. So I wouldn't say it's a.
The ultimate shaggy dog story. Okay, I guess that's it. Thanks
What about
everyone
your joke?
for.
What about your
Oh,
joke?
my joke. The one that I tell about the stingeret usually gets some giggles every time.
Well, yeah. And characterize what is a stingeret for people who might not be at
It's a Stingeret's this white van that drives around late at night and picks up kids.
okay. Now you got this context. Do not tell the joke.
No, I mean that's what it is. It's like this like it's a van for Georgia Tech students to use late at night to get back home safely. But the problem is, okay,
That is really funny, Daniel.
again, it's a
The
late night.
joke is that it's a white van that goes around and picks up kids at night.
And one time they handed out candy. Yeah, just,
You need to work on your material, man.
what's funny is the candy. So I told the joke with like, yeah, they handed out candy or whatever. Not actually something that happened on the Stingray, but it did happen in an Uber one time where this woman had candy, and it was Nadia, and the Uber driver is like, hey, you want some candy? And Nadia's like, oh yeah, I'll take some. And I was like, God, don't take. You'll take candy from the.
Yeah, that's kind of sketch.
Anyway, thanks for all the listeners for sending them in, sending
Yep,
all
thank
those
you guys for
questions in.
sending all your questions. It was awesome.
Again, Tanner, where can they send questions for future episodes?
They can just post it in the comments on any of where the Experience podcast can be found, any platform.
Yep, yep. And you can, of course, leave your audio questions at anchor.fm/the experience. We could play it if we wanted to, or we could not.
Yeah. All right,
Any
thanks
last
for
words?